and I'm going to start your reading right now for Pisces. So the first card, you have your past judgment. So yeah, this is a very complex card. I'm seeing a few things in this. One of the things I'm seeing is that you're really starting to come into yourself. I think you're going through a time of really becoming yourself, if that makes sense. And I think you're really starting to feel quite proud of yourself, actually, and proud of who you are. And this time comes after a long time of sort of, feeling hurt, going through heartbreak, hurt, and then some recovery after that. And now you've come out into this. So this is really, really good to see. I'm really happy to see this. Yeah, so this is you coming out of your box like the people on this card. And you're kind of ready for what's next, or you were at this time, and you're definitely wanting to leave any of that hurt and negativity all behind you. You're like, what's next? This is my new life. I'm ready to move forward. What am I going to do now? So you had that, a lot of optimism. So that's really fantastic. I'm really happy to see that. The other thing I'm seeing here is that, okay, I think someone was thinking about coming forward to you. I think they were thinking about apologizing to you, actually. I think this is someone who really messed you around, actually, and I think they might have really hurt you, actually. You went through a lot with this person. I think you might have had a few arguments with them. I'm seeing a lot of backwards and forwards energy between you in the past. I also think, yeah, you might have both apologized to each other, actually, at different times in the past. So, there's a really rocky history between you. And I think you went through all this rockiness with them and all these things. And I think then you just let it go at one time. It was like, I don't think you wanted to let it go. I think your heart didn't want to, but I think your head just said, it's time to let this go. I have to do this. I think it became a necessity for you and for your mental health as well. I'm not sure how you're going to feel about this when they do connect with you, because I think this person does represent a lot of hurt to you. So I think they have a lot to work on, a lot of work in front of them if they want to break that perception down that you have of them. But I'm getting a very strong feeling that I need to tell you that you need to take your time when this happens. Don't let them rush you to forgive them. Don't let them even rush you to talk to them if that's not what you want to do, or if that's what you want to do. Take your time. This is all your decision. And, if you feel as if you can't forgive them, that's up to you. A lot of people say, oh, you should always forgive, and that's the only way you can move on. But I think it depends on each individual and each individual situation. There's some terrible things that people do to other people sometimes. And, what's right for one person isn't always right for the next person. One person might feel as if, it's right to forgive and that's what I should do. And another person might not. So for me, I know a lot of people have different views on this, but for me, I think it's up to each individual to decide whether they want to forgive someone. And I think it's also, and I think also when someone apologizes to someone else, they shouldn't automatically expect someone to forgive them either. That's totally up to that individual. It depends on the person, the situation, a million different things. So that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so the next card you have your past is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, I think you actually have, I think you do have someone else in your life, and I think they're very special to you. I don't think this person in the Judgment card necessarily wants to come back in a romantic way. I'm seeing a sort of, I'm just seeing that they want some kind of forgiveness or closure or something like that. But I think maybe just the fact that they want to talk to you might send you backwards emotionally. So again, just be really careful when you're making that decision, because you've come so far. You've come into this time where you're out of your box, you're ready for what's new, and you don't want to let this person send you back again. But yeah, with this newer love connection, I think this is a really nice connection. It's very positive, but I think you are a little bit not cautious, but I think you might be taking things a bit slowly. And I think, I think this is what you need to do as well at this time. I think it's right for you to do that. And, I'm getting this feeling that you're going through a lot of changes. I've seen that in the Judgment card, and I think you still are going through that. And because of that, I think a lot of things in your life are sort of shifting around, finding the right place. It's a little bit like a puzzle, when you've got all the pieces and, you need to keep some, discard some, you have to move some around, you have to see where they fit properly, whether that's going to fit there or not. And I don't think you're quite in that place yet. You're not exactly sure where everything in your life is going to kind of fit in yet. I hope that makes sense. But I think, you're taking your time with a lot of things, not just with this relationship. I think you're kind of just thinking about what you want to do, because you have made this big change and you do have a lot of things to kind of sort out. So that's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have for your past is Strength. So yeah, you're still going through this kind of change, this kind of process of growth. And I'm seeing that here as well. So I think when you get to the end of this, you'll be really strong. You'll be strong enough to tackle just about anything, I think. Ex is coming back and apologizing. Anything that had set you back emotionally now won't bother you at all when you get to the end of this process. So that's what I'm seeing. You'll be so strong. You'll be feeling a lot bigger than just about anything. If you look at the lion and the woman on this card, they're a lot bigger than the landscape around them, and that's how you're going to feel, bigger than anything around you. And this isn't about feeling big and strong and ready to fight. This is about inner strength. So you won't feel like fighting anyone, but that's where the strength is. The feeling that I have this inner strength, I don't have to fight anyone. I don't want to fight anyone. I just feel really sure of myself and really strong within myself. And right now you're not at that stage, and that's why I wanted to warn you about this, this person and this apology, because I don't think you're emotionally ready, and I don't think you're spiritually ready for that at this time, and you won't be for a while. I think you have to kind of get through to the end of this process first. That's what I'm seeing there. So the first card you have for your present is the Two of Swords. Okay, so I think because you're still going through this and because you're still not sure about a lot of things, I think there might be some decisions that you've left to one side, and that's fine. But there is one decision I think you're going to have to make this very, very soon. It's not an easy decision either. It's actually really complicated because there are a lot of decisions within this one decision, if that makes sense. It's sort of like one thing depends on another thing, and it kind of goes like that. So, it probably feels a little bit of a mess to you, actually. And there's also someone in this who might be waiting for you to make this decision as well. I'm seeing someone who keeps on asking you about this, or they're reminding you or something. And there's a deadline and they're bothering you, and it's kind of stressing you out a bit. But you still can't do anything about this because it feels really big and really complicated. That's what I'm getting. So if this is resonating with you, maybe try to break it down into smaller pieces so that you can kind of maybe try and look at one piece on its own, solve that, move on to the next one, solve that. Tackle it like that, little pieces one at a time. I hope that helps, because I can see this sort of, what I'm seeing in my head is this kind of big spider's web with everything kind of tangled in together. So it's a bit difficult. You have to kind of unravel it one piece at a time. That's what I'm seeing in that. So sorry about that. So the next card you have for your present is the Lovers. So yeah, this card's obviously about love, but it's also a complex card as well. It can be about decisions as well. It can be about spiritual ascension, moving forwards and upwards. That's what you're doing as well. Okay, so I'm actually seeing a situation a little bit clearer now. The one around the ex who wants to apologize to you. So yeah, this is what I'm seeing. They do want closure. at this time, and they're probably telling other people at this time that they want closure. They're probably saying to people around them, oh, I'm going to go and apologize just so I can get closure, and they can as well, and all of that. And I think they're telling themselves that as well. But I think deep down in there somewhere, what they want to do is eventually connect with you again romantically. I think they might be denying this, maybe even to themselves, but it's in there, it's deep in there. And I think whether they're thinking about this consciously or subconsciously, that's the end goal for them. And this is probably another reason why I was feeling so sort of stressed about this myself. I just had this horrible warning feeling, warning, don't do this. That's what I was getting around that. And I think this is why. Because I think even if they do just apologize as a friend or whatever, things aren't going to end there. They'll come forward again, and they'll probably keep on, gradually keep on coming forward and kind of pushing with more and more. So that's what I'm seeing around that. So I don't want to scare you, but I wanted to give you that knowledge that I was seeing there, because that might give you some more clarity and it might help you to make a better decision around this person. So the last card you have your present is the Fool. Yeah, I love this card, especially after all this heaviness I was seeing here. So yeah, I'm seeing you actually starting something, and I don't think you are starting. I think it's a restart. I think you might have already started this, and now you're kind of revisiting this again. Maybe you put it aside when you're going through all these changes, but I think this is something you're probably thinking about taking up again now. And there's a lot of fun around this. I think you enjoy this. You have an idea, I think, in the back of your mind, I think, that it might eventually turn into a business or something like that. Maybe this is hidden a bit, because I think, you've seen other people do this. I think you can do this as well. But the reason why it might be hidden, or, maybe something that might be stopping you or making you kind of hesitate a little bit right now, might be about what people think, because this is very different. This is a very different thing to what a lot of your friends and family are doing or have done. But I think this Fool card's a reminder. It's telling you to follow what excites you, and this really excites you. I don't know, I just saw this come into my head. It might be a channel on here, it might not, but that just came into my mind then. So, if it is, or whatever else it is, just do this. Just go ahead and do this, like this Fool. That's what this card's telling you. So the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Wands. Yeah, so this is another card that's telling me that you're getting stronger. And if you do this thing that I'm seeing in the Fool card, and I think you will, there are going to be some really fun times. I don't want to put you off this, but there are going to be some really enjoyable times, really interesting times. There are also going to be some really difficult times, and there are going to be a few times when you have to come across some really difficult people, even some nasty people around this. But I think that. I think you're ready for this, and I think by the time you're ready to start this, you'll be a lot stronger and you'll be prepared for this as well. And you are going to feel a little bit like this man sometimes, a little bit bruised, a bit tired, but you're going to be determined. And I think that's how you have to be with anything you want to do, especially if this is a business, which I'm seeing it might be. And if you're running things yourself, you just have to keep on going. No one's there to do anything for you. You just have to keep going, and you will do that. You're going to be very determined. I'm seeing that you are actually going to start this. I don't know when it is, but you are going to start, and you're just going to push forward, and you are actually going to have success in this. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, I'm not sure what kind of business this is, but there's definitely money here, which is what I'm seeing in the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles can be about, a slow build up of money. So that's what I'm seeing here, but it's definitely there. It's not like going to be like you suddenly make loads of money overnight. It's going to be slowly building up a little bit, and then a bit more each month, and then after a while it's going to be enough for a regular salary. So I think you might even end up giving up your normal job eventually, but this is going to take time, might take a year, might take longer, but it is going to build up gradually for you. Money's definitely there in this card. And I'm seeing this again. This is really different to what anyone in your family's ever done. And I think when people find out what you're doing, they might talk about you, they might even whisper about you, like the two people in the middle of this card. But, you know, all the best people have people talking about them, you know that. But whatever you do, don't let any of these people stop you. Now, I think once they see you're not going to stop, and especially once they see you're really making some progress, and you will, they'll definitely stop whispering about you. And I think some people will probably start asking you how you do this, and they might even ask you for advice, how, you know, they might want to do it as well. I'm actually seeing that. You might actually have, I'm actually seeing a family member who you would never ever imagine would ever want to do anything like this, and they'll actually come up to you and they'll say, you know, how did you start? How did you do that? I might do that myself. I'm thinking of doing it. I'm seriously thinking that. And they're going to really surprise you. So that's what's going to happen there. It's funny, actually. It's like, you know, when someone starts to lose weight and people around them start to say, oh, you know, they tell them they're doing everything wrong. Like they say, oh, you don't lose it like that. You should do this plan. You need to do, you know, low fat or high, low carb or high this or that and whatever. You need to do vegan and all this other stuff, and don't do that. Oh, and then they just shrug it off, and then they keep on going, and then these people see them progress, and they're like, oh, what did you do? How did you do that? That's what happens. So that's what I'm seeing happening with this thing that you're doing. It's really funny. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. So the last card you have, your future, is the Page of Pentacles. So again, I'm seeing money around this. You can see the money here coming in. So I'm also seeing this love connection that I was seeing in the Knight of Cups, this one that's kind of a bit slow, you know, you're taking your time with them. I can see that everywhere. And they're also mirroring you, so they don't want to scare you off, so they're kind of taking their time as well, because that's what you're doing. Now, they might not be telling you this because they are taking this slowly. And I think, yeah, because they can see that that's what you want, so they're just doing whatever you want. But I think they do want something a bit more with you. They want some stability with you. That's what they really want. And that's what they aspire to. That's what they think about. That's what they dream of. If you look at this page, he's really looking up to this coin. He wants it. He looks as if he's almost in love with this coin, actually. So that's what this person wants. You know, they're patient. They're happy to wait. But they're going to want to move this forward at some time. And I think they're going to tell you this very soon. I think this is going to come up for you soon, because they have this really deep feeling that this is what they truly want. You can see that in the page's eyes. Look at him. So I think you'll hear about this soon from them. And yeah, this is another decision you're going to have to make, but this is a good decision. So Pisces, I hope this resonated, but as you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you'd like to do. And thank you so much for watching.